All righty. Short Vines, where are you, Lamolin? I'm here. Sorry for being a minute or two late. We're having some, actually, I just finished up a call and having some technical difficulties. How's it going, guys? Good to see you all. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a safe and happy holidays. Let's give everyone a few minutes to hop on and get going, and then we can kick it off and start going through the first Community Connect of 2025. I'll just give it a minute, and then we can go on with it. How's everyone doing today? Promise 9/11. How are you? Angela? Cryptomas, what's up? DeFi Crypto GM, Geome. How the going 2025, mister? It's going real well. Starting off the year, obviously, with a bang. I think you guys all saw the news we had last week, which was pretty exciting. Hopefully, go Bengals. Houday. Unfortunately, we didn't make the playoffs. Anywho. Yeah, Promise 911. Glad to hear you are good. Oh, there's the first one. Do not use dirty language, please. CH Hamzali. Uwakam Nabasi et. How do you say your last name, sir? Or ma'am? Looking good, Chief. Happy New Year. How's it going, guys? Happy New Year indeed. All righty, cool. Well, I'm starting to see some activity. People are here. So let's kick it off and go through some of the updates and just give a little bit of a review on the year prior and what we're up to this year. Chloe, how's it going? Guess. Batuhan, Masta. Well, that's a nice sight in these bearing times. Wow, Crypto, hey Sherpas, how's it going? Delhi, hey. So actually just quick comment. So you normally don't see me in this background. I am in our Dubai office. So I'm in Dubai for the first time this year. Last week was in Hong Kong, which is where I think I've done the majority of these calls and updates previously, but I am in Dubai with our team here. For those of you who aren't familiar, we have had a very small office and presence here, but now we have an actual office, and it's good to have more boots on the ground, more people coming to the office, and now when I come to town, there's actually a place that we can go to. So I'm actually just sitting in the office right now. Hey, RFK from Calgary. I see Portugal. Carlos, how's it going? Raymond. Hey, I can't read Chinese, so I'm not sure what you're saying, unfortunately. Anywho, so I'm in Dubai right now, going to be here for the week. Very, very busy week. A lot of interesting stuff happening. So I'm sure I'll be able to talk a little bit more about what's going on this week on the next Community Connect. But just want to first say a couple words about 2024, and then talk a little bit more about some of the key initiatives and some of the recent stuff that we've been doing in 2025. So obviously 2024 for Mantra, for the Sherpas, was crazy. I mean, if you started looking at where we were just a year ago, I mean, what is it? Today is January 11th, I believe. 13th, sorry. So January 13th last year, we were market cap wise. I mean, our market cap on January 13th was 51 million. That's absolutely crazy. Today our fully diluted is like 6.5 billion on a bloody red day. The circulating 3.5. So we've obviously had a tremendous amount of growth, and just want to say thanks to everyone for the support. It's been just a absolutely insane ride, and honestly, we can really feel and really believe that this is just the beginning, right? We just launched our chain in Mainnet in October of last year, and I think big focus for 2025, which I'll talk a little bit about, is ecosystem development. So if you think of last year as laying the foundation for all the things that we're doing this year, building the community, bringing on a lot of these interesting partnerships, launching the chain, starting to focus on some of the different elements of community development and ecosystem development with dApps and, the incubator that we did, and some of these, very large institutional partnerships, as well as institutional fundraisers that we did. It's the foundation for what's in store for 2025. And again, just the beginning, right? So, I think it's safe to say 2024 was an amazing year. But, as I told the team when we had our all hands last week, what we did in 2024 is not what's going to give us or make us successful in 2025. So we need to double down on the things that are, going well, and continue to execute, continue to hold ourselves accountable, continue to, really push ourselves hard, because complacency and thinking that, hey, great, now we're up whatever percentage this year, things are good, we can just coast, F that. Not satisfied, not okay. We're just getting started, and that's just, the mentality and the culture that we have inside, and just the focus that we have this year, laser focused, executing, and ready to really deliver value to the community again and again and again. So again, a lot of our focus is this year about the ecosystem development, and we started the year with a bang by this DAMAC announcement. I think, I see a lot of comments in here about that, so I do want to just talk a little bit about that. Obviously, the announcement with DAMAC was a partnership that was a long time in the making. I think I've said it publicly before, but when I met Amira, who's one of the children of Hussein, who's the chairman of DAMAC, she was one of the people who grilled me the hardest about mantra, about real estate tokenization, about all these different things. And fortunately, over time, she could see that we were the real deal, that we were legitimate, and that we were, here to stay, and built up a lot of trust and credibility over time. That's not easy to replicate, right? So that was the first step. And then, fortunately, we were able to, find a way to actually, sign this transaction and figure out a way to get people over to actually allow us to kind of talk about it in the public. So it took, honestly, probably from start to finish, maybe 9 months or more. I mean, these type of things really do take time, but obviously well worth the wait. I mean, I'm pretty sure we are the largest real estate tokenization deal ever announced. And we're really excited about the different types of products and assets that are going to come on chain via the DAMAC portfolio. First, we're looking at different things from commercial and residential real estate to data centers, hospitality assets, etc. These are obviously exciting ways to really change the game for real estate in the Middle East and in Dubai, particularly, where it's one of the hottest real estate markets in the world. Obviously, we had a very large announcement last year as well with MAG for 500 million. So, we're really excited that a lot of these massive institutional real estate developers have chosen Mantra as their, chain of choice and as their ecosystem of choice, because of the way that we execute, operate, and just think about how we're developing this, burgeoning on-chain, RWA ecosystem. I'm just going to pause there for a second because there's still a lot of comments coming in. Mohammed, I think I answered a little bit like what kind of assets we're tokenizing first. So, as I mentioned, different types of commercial or residential real estate, both via financing, so debt as well as equity. The data centers, which are really cool, interesting ideas for RWAs because they're cash flow, yield-bearing hard assets. And of course, that was quite lucky. I think someone mentioned that they announced a $20 billion U.S. data center investment in the United States together with President Trump. That was obviously a really exciting thing and great timing. Frankly, that was not. We didn't do that by choice. That was a bit of luck that it just happened to be the same time we were announcing it. But now the whole world knows DAMAC because the chairman was front and center with President Trump making this massive announcement, and then ours came out the next day, which was awesome. So John is asking, any more deals like Dumbuck on the way? Yes, definitely yes. Not just in the real estate sector, but in others. And then you mentioned the tweet saying this is a tweet you talked about when he told 9-fig deal to 10-fig. Dumbuck deal. So I've had a couple of deals talking about like 10 figures. Obviously 10 figures means $1 billion or more. And this one, the tweet that he's referencing there saying, love when you go into a meeting thinking it's going to be a 9-figure deal and it turns out to be 10. This was not the deal. So there's multiple, 10-figure deals that we're talking, and obviously many, many, many more 9-figure ones. So the pipeline of RWA TVL coming on chain is legitimately in the multi billions. It's pretty insane. RWA numbers are just at a different level. We think about RWAs from a TVL perspective in 3 different ways. So one is just these type of illiquid assets like real estate, or other types of products that are coming on chain that are huge in number, and we'll find ways to fractionalize them, distribute them, and make them more composable within an on-chain ecosystem. So that's like the first. The second one is taking existing asset classes that TradFi investors or institutional investors are already using, and finding ways to lower the barrier to entry. So instead of having to buy, directly a BlackRock fund that has, a minimum ticket of $1 million, you can buy, a few $100s worth of it, for example. So money market products are one that's quite interesting here. Private credit assets or private credit funds, private equity funds, venture capital funds, these type of things. These are meant to be more institutional nature, and we're helping democratize, lower the barriers to entry, and potentially enhancing the yield opportunity as well for investors. That's number 2. And then the third is like just DeFi native or crypto native TVL, stablecoins, Bitcoin, etc. So we have a number of different strategies on how we're going to implement that. And that's in the works, and something that, again, as part of this ecosystem development initiative that we're building, is one of the key focuses for 2025, and particularly for Q1. Joaquin Rivera, how is Pisay EV project going? They're absolutely crushing it. Pisay is one of the incubator projects that we invested in, or I invested in at least. And we want it to be one of the kind of the flagship projects for showcasing real world assets and the composability that they can bring. So for those of you who don't necessarily know the story of Pisay, it's a project where they basically created these EV sustainable motorcycles that are battery charged and can go and deliver different types of food. And effectively what happens in places like Dubai or in Hong Kong, or other markets, delivery drivers go out and deliver food via these motorcycles, these bikes, because they're easy to move around. They can charge them. They can get new batteries. They can go everywhere. And if you guys remember at the Token 24/9 Dubai, there was all this crazy rain, and it was like a monsoon here locally. Many of the combustion engine bikes, so the motor bikes, they died when the flooding happened, but the EV bikes continued. And they continue to work, and they continue to deliver food on time. So many of the big delivery companies here in the UAE, they have Careem, they have Noon, they have a few others. They were like, oh, great, how do I make more orders of these EV bikes? So now they have this crazy amount of ordering of these bikes that they now need to fit and support the demand. And one of the ways that they're doing this is actually tokenizing this demand by financing these development of these bikes. I think each bike is like $5,000 US, maybe a little bit cheaper. And they have a yield attached with a certain kind of repayment terms behind it. And actually, that's one way we can create a vault where you can invest into these sustainable EV bikes that then pays you back, a pretty significant return, I think in the high teens even. So pretty interesting product. The team's crushing it. They have an insane list of real world partnerships. And obviously this is a very clear use case of sustainable real world assets. So I'm very excited about what they're doing, along with some of the other projects that we, were part of that initial incubator as well. Crypto world, when Binance mainnet support. So first off, when, WEN, just kidding, but we are working on that one. And, I think, as I mentioned, the 3 main focuses for this year are TVL, dApps, and kind of activity that you can do. And then third one is exchange integrations. So not just taking the existing exchanges that we're on and allowing them to integrate the mainnet, but also new listings. So this is a key focus. Rehan, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much, sir. Eduardo Rojo, I have a question about V1 Ohm. When are we going to do the bridge? If you haven't reached out, please get in touch with CS, customer support, or with Dustin in the main in Telegram or Discord and flag with him. We're going through the process of reconciling everything. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Short Vines, any updates on Sybil and Gendrop? So, obviously a bit of the elephant in the room. There's a lot of focus on at the end of the year, particularly on changing the tokenomics. Honestly, it was a very, very, very tough call, and appreciate the community support on understanding the relevance of this and the need to make a decision like this for the benefit of the long-term holders, the community, and for making sure that we maintain to have a very strong tokenomic support that's meant to be aligned with the reality of where we are. As I mentioned in my note, like honestly, when we initially made these tokenomics back in early 2024, we just weren't at the same stage as we are now. With the development hadn't occurred, the market hadn't kicked off, and it was just a different game. And we have to adjust, and we have to do what's right to make sure that we're willing to make the hard calls when we did. So the governance proposal passed, and we will start having the first part of the gen drop happen in March. And in terms of Sybil, we've actually done some initial testing versus the later zero Sybil list, and there was definitely some people who got caught in it who are known Sybil. But in general, we'll make sure that that's a public list so everyone can verify. So anyway, just FYI. Tim Putin, is the team planning more in-person events like summits? Yes, there are going to be a lot of different ones. I'm going to be speaking actively at many of the larger ones. I'm actually trying to not go to as many of these, because I just want to be focused on executing. Obviously, continue to need to evangelize, communicate, and make everyone known about us. But frankly, I think it's becoming a little bit of a detractor if I'm actively at too many of these smaller conferences. So really want to focus on the big ones. The two big ones that I see coming up, maybe three, would probably be Consensus in Hong Kong. I'll definitely be there. Token 2029 Dubai, it's in April, and probably DAS New York. Those are going to be the three ones that I'm focusing on right now. Any plans to expand partnerships beyond finance-focused companies? We definitely have partnerships that are not finance-focused, but naturally there is some economic element of all these arrangements. Not gonna lie, the 20 billion Trump deal had me hyped. Now this Mantra partnership, it's exciting. Good timing and definitely exciting. How does Mantra compare to other players in the RWA space? I mean, we're one of the largest. We, have a very key focus on solving all elements of, the RWA conundrum. And I think that is frankly, the technology part of it is not really the challenge. Interacting with real world regulators, real world governmental agencies, legislation and frameworks is the challenging part, and it's the tough part. And understanding this on a global basis, where all the rules and regulations are not the same, is really the hard part. So we have a very key focus on figuring out how these networks work. We're very hyper focused on a particular part of the world. So we have very strong roots in the UAE and in the Middle East and Asia, and we want to dominate here. And we want to destroy anyone who challenges us in that. I'm just a little bit competitive, if you can't tell. And I think the other thing that really sets us apart is our focus on compliance first, doing things the right way, not cutting corners, and really having a long-term builder approach. And that just shows, Mantra is almost 5 years old now. So we launched Mantra in August of 2020, August 18th, 2020. So a whole lot of lore and history behind those dates and everything. But we actually started building it in May. So it's almost 5 years old now. So we've been here for a long time. And as I mentioned, we just feel like we're just getting started. So we have a long, long way to go. The chain just launched. Ecosystem's just at the nascency of its development. And, we couldn't be more excited about what's coming because it's going to be insane. Yes, 100 billion TVL on chain might be sooner than we think. I mean, that's my goal. I need to beat it. And, building in public is part of building in public is putting your goals out there and then showing how you develop over time. So we're pumped to hit that. And, I tend to run through walls, maybe not literally, but at least figuratively, to get things done if I want to get it done. So with my mindset on it, we're going to do it. Will we see fully operational dApps in the Mantra chain ecosystem by the first quarter of 2025? Absolutely. It's one of our key objectives, and we're going to make that happen. Multiple of them. Let's see. Congrats for the amazing work. I see a lot of UAE. What about projects to the US and Europe? Are they in your plans? How do you see this? So we're not just only focused on the UAE. It's just one place where we have an outsized advantage, in our opinion. We're close with a lot of the local partners, a lot of the local capital, a lot of the local regulatory bodies and governmental agencies. So that's obviously an advantage. And just from a macro perspective, as well as just being aligned with the narrative of the country, innovation and technological development and blockchain and crypto is something that the country is pushing. So from top to bottom, it just makes sense. That does not mean that we're not actively exploring different markets. From a licensing perspective, I don't think we're actively looking in Europe or the US for that matter. In the US, one of the partners that we work with is Soma. They have a broker dealer called Tritorian, so they have some interesting and unique licensing there. But from a distribution perspective, we're still seeing, a lot of opportunities in these other markets as well. USA is probably the next one that's really exciting, but we need to see what's going to happen with the new administration, some of the frameworks. We're cooking some stuff there for sure. I think outside of the UAE, like the two markets we're most actively exploring at the moment for a number of different reasons are the USA and Korea. But not everything is just about RWAs and TVL and whatnot. There's a number of different layers to how you can attack or interact with the market. Let's see. This is Faizan. I saw that you'll be doing tokenization of the data center assets. Yes, we'll absolutely be looking at that 100%. It's one of the, probably won't be the first asset that we do, but it'll be one of the many that we're focusing on. We should have something coming pretty soon about the next specific one. Web3 crypto. I saw your emoji eyes on NFT Mastermind post. Is something cooking? Yes, something is cooking. So be on the lookout. Sad stories of very, very legendary NFT artist. He has done some very cool NFTs in the cosmos, including Celestine Sloths. Obviously, I'm a big sloth holder and big fan of the sloth. LM to all my sloths out there. So yes, we are definitely cooking something with sad stories. So be on the lookout this week. Master Blender, hate to hit you with much, but any hints at one top exchange will support OHM? I'm not sure what you consider to be top exchanges, but in my mind, tier one exchanges would be Bybit, Binance, OKX, Coinbase, and then probably Upbit. So my money is on one of those. We'll have a mainnet integration within January. Fingers crossed. I shouldn't say that now. I'm going to get in trouble when it doesn't happen, but we'll make it happen. Build in public. DJ RC says, I'm not sure how to say your name. I don't know how to read it. R says, how is it going to work on chain? Will the tokenized properties converted to chains be fractionalized? Will you have level 2 chains or the ERC20 equivalent tokens on the mantra? Let's see. So not any, but some of these products that are going to be tokenized, for example, the title of a luxury villa in Dubai could have fractional ownership of the token. So yes, that's definitely possible. They will be issued as Mantra chain native tokens via the RWA token factory. We are exploring like different types of virtual machines. So EVM would be one of them, but presently Mantra is not an EVM compatible chain. Guess. Token Sherpa. With the growing interest in OHM and Mantra's expanding ecosystem, are there plans to facilitate swaps between tokens like Sol and OHM more easily? Perhaps through optimized bridges or liquidity pool. Other ecosystem development via bridging to Solana or others is something that we are looking into, but it's not our core focus, to be honest. Interoperability is important, but we obviously have interoperability via the IBC, Cosmos IBC. And, there's other projects that are focusing on interoperability solutions with other ecosystems, including with Solana, including with, Bitcoin and others. It's important. It's something we'd like to integrate, but it's not our core focus. So we'll work with other parties to help do that. Like, a lot of the wallets are also supporting this as well. So that's one of the areas that we want to focus on is additional wallet integrations, whether that's centralized exchange wallets or other leading wallets that are exploring multi-chain functionality. Colin, any news on Ondo rewards from Tracker Pool? So Ondo will only give us the tokens to distribute. I believe it's February 1st. And by then, all the rewards from Ondo Pool, Tracker Pool will be fully vested. The OM rewards are already live. You can claim them now, and they're pretty significant. So hopefully people who participate in that pool are enjoying the OM rewards because at least in dollar value, it's pretty significant. Let's see. Mohammed, want to see on-chain stats go up more and more and more? Yes, we will absolutely be focusing on some of these metrics, but we also want to make sure that it's not just, spamming the network for metrics sake. It's actually, focusing on real sustainable value over time and getting the real long-term minded ecosystem development players to come on and support. Validator 247, does the team intend to expand the delegation program for validators? Yes, we are actively going to be expanding the validator set bit by bit. So it's something that's in the works and will be consistently expanded throughout 2025. I want to say 2024, but we're past that. Die K, are we dropping some NFTs this week? Yeah, it's in the works. Sunny Aurora, big fan from India, active on Twitter, always om. Amazing. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Fako, appreciate it, sir. Greetings from Estonia. Greetings right back to you, my friend. Atomio, thank you for the ohm and thank you for the support. Caio Martins, I see you guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Bruno as well. All right, guys. Well, we did a bit of a community connect, about pushing close to 30 minutes, seeing kind of the same questions and, was able to give a bit of an update on kind of where we're sitting in our focus. Maybe just to kind of summarize and wrap up again, obviously last year has been crazy. This year is really focusing on just driving insane amounts of TVL, really developing the ecosystem. We're going to be launching another incubator, funding more projects, ecosystem fund, so many different things, interesting new RWA products on chain, new centralized exchanges, as well as centralized exchange integrations, building up those on-chain metrics. As I mentioned, last year was the foundation building. This year is the execution, laser focused. Need your guys' support and appreciate you guys for being part of our growth. The best is absolutely yet to come. So lock in because I'm ready to fucking go. And it's going to be a big year, excuse my language, but time to execute, time to deliver, and time to build the RWA ecosystem together. So thank you all for the support. It means a lot to us. Appreciate you all. And we'll be doing some more of this in the not too distant future. So yeah, thank you everyone. And we'll be speaking to each other soon. Cheers. Thank you.